You send them a text and then you wait. You check if they've read it. You check if they're online. You analyze the time gap between their last post and their reply to you. 5 minutes feels like an hour. An hour feels like rejection. This is notification anxiety.
Hi guys, welcome back. Today we will learn how to create the cinematic podcast reel in After Effects.
You send them a text and then you wait. You check if they've read it. You check if they're online.
To get started, let's drag our podcast over here in the composition. Perfect. By the way, if you want to support the channel and also get access to all these assets as well as project files, you can join our Patreon. Over here, along with this, you'll also get access to all these perks. The link is in the description. Now for the first animation, we'll start by adding the background. For that, let's go to the assets. Let me choose this, drag and drop it over here. Perfect. Let me hear the audio.
Send them a text and then you wait. You check if they've read it. You check if they're online. You analyze the time gap between their...
Perfect. The animation will end over here. So let me trim this on the right. For that, you can press on option in the right square bracket. Perfect. Now as I want to blend this with the background, let's add a quick solid. Just name this as BG. Keep it as white. Press on OK. Drag it over here. Now selecting the top layer, press on T for opacity and let's reduce the opacity to around 50%. Nice. Now let's start building our scene and then we'll animate it. So firstly, I will drag the hand. Perfect. Press on S. Let's scale this up a bit. Let's keep it something like this for now. Perfect. Now let's start adding all the elements inside it. Firstly, I will add the keyboard. Let's keep it like this. Again, press on S. Scale this down. Okay, I'll keep it over here. I think we need to keep it around 17.5%. Perfect. Let's add the header. You can keep it under the hand. It will be somewhere like this. I don't really want to keep this notch. So I'll do one thing. Let's select the hand. Go to the top. Select the pen tool. Let's make a mask like this. Perfect. Again selecting the hand. Open the mask. Over here, just click on inverted. Nice. See, the notch has vanished. So let's select the header again. We press on P. Drag it little down. Maybe, yeah. This looks good. Now you see over here, there's some gap. In order to remove the gap, we'll do one thing. Let's create a rectangle. Let's place it something like this. Perfect. Let's keep the fill as white. Nice. I'll keep it over here. Okay, this looks good. But right now on the corners, do you see over here? It's coming out. So for that, we can do one thing. Again, selecting the layer, you can go over here and click on Tool Creates Mask. Then selecting the pen tool. Let me zoom in. See, start creating a shape like this. Perfect. As you can see over here, with this, we have created a mask and the corners are vanished. Looking good. I'll just name this as the phone BG. Perfect. Now what else do we need to add? Yeah, correct. The image over here. So let me add that. You can simply drag and drop this. Press on S. Let's scale her image down. You can keep it over here like this. Maybe around 9%. Perfect. Now ensure that the layer is selected. Come to the top. Select the ellipse tool. Going over here, let's get a mask like this. Ensure that you are holding on shift. That way you will get the perfect circle. Okay, looks good. Let me zoom in. We'll keep it over here like this. Perfect. Let me zoom out. Next, we have to add the messages over here. Let me add one message. Okay, we'll take this call out. Keep it over here. Press on S. Drag this down. Okay. Maybe smaller, around 7%. Yeah, this looks fine. We keep it like this. Now on top of that, we have to add the text. For that, you can press on Command T. Click over here. Let's write stop messaging me. Okay, Command A. Let's increase the size. Okay, looks good. We'll keep it over here. Perfect. Let me drag message 2. Press on S. Make it small. Perfect. Let's keep it over here. Let me add the text. Perfect. Let's take a copy of this by pressing on Command D. Drag this up. Press on P for position. Let's drag this down over here. Perfect. Let's change the text. Okay, looks good. Now we have to add the final text which we are going to animate. So for that, I have provided you with a different message bubble. So just drag and drop this. Again press on S, makes this small. Perfect. Let's keep it over here. Again, let's take a copy of this. Keep it over here. Let's drag this down. Let's write the text hello like this. Press on P. Nice. Now if you remember, this entire animation is built on top of this hand, this layer. So to move all of this in sync, let's select all the other layers and simply parent them to the hand layer. Even these layers, let's parent them to the hand. Perfect. Let me see what else is pending. Let me hear the audio.
You send them a text and then you wait. You check if they've read it.
So you check if you read it. So over here, I have to add the text read, and then
You check if they're online.
and then finally we have to add over here if they're online. Before that, I'm gonna do one small change. Firstly, we'll select this love, press on S. Let me reduce it around 5%. Perfect. Or maybe you can keep it 4.5%. Yeah, this is fine. Let's drag it a little up. Perfect. Now let's set the text over here. I'm just gonna write girlfriend 3. Selecting all, let's keep it black. Okay, let's place it properly over here. Nice. Next, somewhere at this point, we have to add the word online over here. Again, you can simply take a copy of this. Press on P, drag this down. Write the word online. Selecting all. Let's reduce it to around 24 pixels. Let me keep it over here. In fact, I can do one thing. This size I will keep 24 and then little up. And for this, let's keep this around 20. This is much better. Keep it like this. And on the right, I want to add a circle, a small green circle. So I'll just select our ellipse tool. Let's make a circle over here like this, holding shift. Going to fill. Let's give it that nice green color. Let me see. Yeah, this looks cool. I'll just name this as the online circle. Perfect. And let me hear the audio.
Read it. You check if they
You check if they're online. So somewhere at this point, selecting both of them, press on T, add a keyframe opacity, drag it to around 4 seconds, and simply reduce it to 0. Let me see.
check if they've read it. You check if they're online.
Nice. Next over here, we have to add Reddit. So again, quite simple. Take a copy of this, drag it up, press on P. Let's keep it over here. Let's make it black. Perfect. Reduce it to around 24 pixels or maybe around 18. Yeah, this is fine. Let's change it to red. Perfect. Now on the right side, we have to add 2 ticks. So for that, I will just drag the check mark over here. Press on S. Let's keep it around 5%. Press on P. Let's drag it on the right. Down over here. Okay, I need 2 check marks, so I have to shift this little on the right. This one can be over here. Perfect. Let's take a copy of this by pressing on Command D. Press on P and then over here. Perfect. Looks nice. So again, now selecting these 3. Press on T. Add keyframes and opacity. Maybe we want this to appear first. Somewhere over here. Let me hear the audio.
You check if they've read it.
Okay. So this can come over here. This can be over here. And then at this point, make this nil. Make this nil. And going a little back, let's make this nil as well. Let me see.
You check if they've read it.
No. Let me zoom in a bit. So these 3 can come little ahead. Like this. Let me see now.
You check if they've read it.
Perfect. Now we have to animate this as well. So we'll do one thing. Before that, there's unequal space between these messages. So let me just select where is our hello and this message. Let's press on P and let me drag this little up. Okay, this is fine. Now again selecting these 3, press on P, drag this little up. This is fine, right? Yeah, this looks good to me. Maybe little up. Yeah, this looks fine. Okay, now to animate this, let's firstly select our text. Where's the text? This one, right? Yeah. So let's press on Y to select anchor point. See, right now the anchor point is over here. We want this to be at this point. Perfect. Then selecting our word hello. Let's parent it to our message. Nice. Now selecting this message, let's press on R. Holding shift, also press on S for scale. Add a keyframe in both. Add this earlier, maybe somewhere at this point, 1.5 seconds. Now going to 1 second, let me firstly rotate it downwards like this, and let's make this as 0. Perfect. Now selecting both the keyframes, press on F9 to easy ease. Go to the graph editor. Let's zoom in. Select these 2 points and drag them like this. Perfect. Let me zoom out a bit.
You send them a text and
No, you send them a text, it should come at that point. Okay, this can come at 2 seconds. Let me see.
you send them a text and then
No, again, too slow. You should keep it somewhere over here.
you send them a text and then you wait.
Nice.
You check if they're online.
Perfect. Only this one thing, this online is not in the center. So again, selecting this, press on P. Let's drag it little in the center. Looks good. Selecting all, let's press on U to collapse. Perfect. Everything is looking nice. Now to create the animation, let's select all the layers, everything apart from this background layer till here, and let's make them 3D. Now let's right click, let's pre-comp it, and let's call this as the mobile. Perfect. Now to do the animation, we need to add the camera. So right click, go to new, add the camera. You can keep this as it is, just press on OK. Over here, selecting this layer, ensure they are turned on collapse transformations. Perfect. Going to a drop down. In transform, let's add a keyframe in position. Firstly, at the beginning, I want this to be zoomed in, so I'll press on S. Let me zoom this a bit. Maybe something like this. Perfect. So now let's drag this somewhere over here at around 1.5 seconds. Now going back at the beginning, we'll simply rotate it like this. Perfect. And also bring this towards us. Something like this. Perfect.
You send them a text and then you wait.
Perfect. At this point, we can drag it little back.
You send them a text and then you wait.
Nice. Now give it that smooth easy ease. Select both the keyframes. Press on F9. Going to the graph. Somewhere at this point, it needs to peak. So you can keep it like this.
You send them a text and then you wait.
Perfect. Next, after this point, we have to zoom in over here.
You wait. You check if they've read.
So next sentence is you check if they read it. So that comes somewhere at this point, right? So over here we'll add a keyframe in position. Also add one in point of interest. So going back at this point, add one more keyframe. Perfect. Now coming at 3 seconds, we have to firstly drag it like this. Perfect. Let me zoom in as well. Nice. Let me see. Okay. Again, selecting all 4 keyframes. Press on F9. Going to the graph. Let's do it one by one. Firstly, select the position. Again, somewhere at this point, I want it to pick. So just keep it like this. Same thing for this one.
And you wait. You check if they've read it.
Nice. Now for last animation, somewhere at this point, we have to zoom in on this online. So for that, let's create null object. Nice. Let's make it 3D. Let's connect our camera to it. Now let's press on P for position. Also holding shift, press on S. Add a keyframe both of them. Drag them earlier. Now at this point, firstly, we have to rotate it. So over here in the position, let's make it proper like this. Nice. Now let's keep it in the middle. Let's start zooming in. Perfect. Let me see.
Read it. You check if they're online.
Nice. Then selecting both keyframes, just press on F9. Let me see.
Read it. You check if they're online.
Perfect. Let's observe scene 1 from the beginning.
You send them a text and then you wait. You check if they've read it. You check if they're online.
Nice. At the beginning over here, right? We can zoom in more. I feel it's like this. And then something like this.
You send them a text and then you wait. You check if
Perfect. Then at this point, it can go a little back.
you wait. You check if they've read it. You check if they're online.
Perfect. Now finally, in order to give it that stop motion look, we will add posterize time on top of this animation. For that, let's add adjustment layer. Going over here in effects and presets. See, this is the posterize time. Let's drag and drop it over here. And over here, this is the default frame rate. Let's reduce it to 50% and we'll keep it at 12. Perfect. One thing that you need to ensure that when the animation ends at 4 seconds, you have to trim the layer. Nice. Let me make this full. Now if I play this,
You send them a text and then you wait. You check if they've read it. You check if they're online. You analyze the time.
Perfect. Looks beautiful, right? So in this way, we have completed our scene 1 successfully. So selecting all these layers, going over here, I'm just going to give it a nice green color. Now let's start building our next scene.
And they reply to you. 5 minutes feels like an hour. And they reply to you. 5 minutes feels like an hour. And you analyze the time gap between their last post and their reply to you. 5 minutes.
Okay, it starts at this point when it says 5 minutes. So again, as usual, we'll go back to project. We are background 2. Let me drag and drop it over here. Perfect.
5 minutes feels like an hour. An hour feels like rejection. This.
So it will end somewhere over here. Perfect. Now on top of this, let's add time. Let me drag and drop it over here. Press on S. Let's scale this down. Okay, it's something like this. Looks good. Perfect. Now for the animation, we are only going to ensure that it comes in from the bottom. So for that, we don't really need both the X and the Y axis. So right click and you can separate the dimensions. Let's add a keyframe in Y axis. Holding shift, also press on R. Add another keyframe. At this point, let's rotate it something like this. Perfect. Let's drag it around to 9 seconds. Now over here, let me keep it like this. And let's simply drag it out completely. Let me see.
5 minutes feels like an hour.
Okay, let's keep it around here. Perfect. Now to give it that easy ease, select all the 4 keyframes, press on F9. Go into the graph, simply keep it like this.
5 minutes feels like.
Beautiful. Now selecting the layer, simply come to Shadowcaster. This is a free plugin by Jake in Motion. You can check it out on his website, or I will also provide the link to this in the description. So using this plugin, simply click on this first one. Beautiful. Coming to the shadow controls, let's simply change the direction. Something like this. Perfect. Immediately it gives you a premium look. Now over here, to give it that 3D look, we'll again go back to project. Let's add this warning sign over here. Let's press on S, scale this up a bit. Nice. Take a copy of this by pressing on Command D, press on R. Let's rotate it. We'll keep it somewhere over here. Nice. Press on S. Let's scale this up a bit. Again, for these 2 layers, we'll need to add similar keyframes. So press on P, add keyframe in both these layers. Maybe somewhere over here. Now at this point, we have to again drag them down. Selecting all, just press on F9. Let me see.
5 minutes feels like an hour.
No. We'll need to add similar graph.
5 minutes feels like an hour.
Nice. Now to give it a 3D look, simply select this layer. Coming over here, let's add Gaussian blur. Perfect. This can be around 10 and the bottom one can be around 5. You can simply copy this. Coming over here, paste it. And let's keep it around 5. Okay, let me see.
5 minutes feels like an hour.
I think we can do one thing. For this one, we can keep it as 10 and the top one can be 15. Perfect. Ensure that this box is ticked off.
5 minutes feels like an hour.
Perfect. Going over here, you can trim all these 3 layers on the left.
Reply to you. 5 minutes feels like an hour.
Perfect. Next, we have to add the text 5 minutes over here. Let me do that. Simply write 5 minutes. Selecting all. Let's increase the size. The font that we'll be using is called as Midline Luxury. It's a free font. You can just check it out on Google. You will find it. We'll keep it as bold. Perfect. Let's reduce the size a bit. Okay. 5 minutes. Nice. Now let's change the color. We'll give it that nice golden color. Perfect. Now on top of this, we also need to add light strip effect. Before that, let's add the background. Going over here, I'll select the rectangle tool. Let me add the background over here. Let's change the color to brown. Perfect. Let's keep it over here. Okay, looks good. Press on P. Let me drag this little ahead. Perfect. Now selecting the layer, let's go to the top in effects and presets. Let's search for CC light strip. Yeah, this one. Let's drag and drop it. At the beginning, it can be over here like this. Add a keyframe. Press on U. Okay. Let me hear the audio.
To you. 5 minutes.
Perfect. So at this point, it can come all the way to the right. Let me see.
5 minutes.
Nice. In fact, I will increase the size a bit. Something like this. And let's make this uppercase. Okay, this looks good. Now to animate this box, I'll just call this as the text BG. So selecting the box, press on Y. Let's keep this anchor point over here. Perfect. So press on S for scale. Open up the lock. Add a keyframe. Going back at 8 seconds, let's simply keep this as 0. Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay. Looks good. Selecting both the keyframes, press on F9, go into the graph, let's zoom in. You have to keep this all the way to the left, like this.
5 minutes.
Maybe we can keep it somewhere over here. Selecting this, let me press on U. Yeah, nice. This is better.
5 minutes.
Selecting both, let's drag it under the time. Selecting this, let's press on U. At this point, it can come little up. Perfect.
5 minutes. Feels like an...
Nice. Now let's animate the word 5 minutes. It's quite simple. Let's go to a drop down in animate. First layer parameter in position. Again going to add. Let's add opacity. Now opening this up. Add a keyframe offset. Keep it -100. Going ahead, let's say at this point, keep this positive 100. Now in advanced, let's change the shape and keep it as a ramp up. This can be around 40. Let me see how it looks for now. Alright, we forgot to do one thing. Here in the position, it should be 100. Okay. It's not looking nice. I know the reason. I will tell you in a second. For now, let's increase it to 150. Let me see. Okay, this is fine. But there's one more thing. This easy low, let's keep it around 10. Okay. Finally going up. Let's close this. Selecting it. Let's track matte this inside the text. Perfect. Again, unhide this. Finally going to the drop down. You remember we had added 2 parameters. The first one was position. The second one was opacity. Let's make that one as nil. Now if you see.
5 minutes. Feels...
Perfect. I think it's a little slow. I can do one thing. Selecting this, press on U. Let's keep this one over here. Okay. Or there's another way. You can simply select these keyframes. Press on F9. Go into the graph. Keep it like this.
5 minutes.
This is better, right?
Apply to you. 5 minutes. Feels...
Perfect. Going to the light sweep. We can drag it little ahead. Like this.
5 minutes. Feels like an hour.
Next, to add the words feels like an hour, simply take a copy of this text, Command D. Let's press on P, drag this up. Okay, let's remove the track matte. Nice. Let's change the text. We'll keep it again as Futura. Yeah, Futura bold. Perfect. Let's change the color to black. Nice. I'll just write feels like an hour. Let me see.
5 minutes. Feels like an hour.
Okay, feels like an hour. So there's one thing that we need to change is over here in the drop down in text in animator. This position, instead of it being in the y-axis, let's keep this as 100. Okay. Next, opening this up in advanced, you have this easy high, right? Let's keep both of them to around 45. Let me see. Feels like an hour. Correct. This is fine. Just press on U. It should start somewhere over here.
Minutes. Feels like an hour.
Okay. This can go a little ahead. And I want this to come by words. So in advanced, in based on instead of characters, just choose words. Feels like an hour. Correct. Finally, let's reduce the size a bit. Let me keep this 72. Okay, this feels very less. Yeah, this is fine. Let's see.
I to you. 5 minutes. Feels like an hour.
Perfect. Let me position this on the right. Let me zoom out a bit. Let me observe.
and they reply to you. 5 minutes feels like an hour.
I think this last keyframe, right, it can come little ahead.
5 minutes feels like an hour. And
I understand the reason. Let's simply remove this easing.
5 minutes feels like an hour.
Nice. I'll reduce the size a little bit. I'll keep it around 100 pixels. Nice. Now there are two things pending in this scene. First is a transition from the podcast to here. So for that, you can simply right click, go to new, add a solid. You can just name this layer as transition layer. Okay. Let's trim this layer on the left over here. Going on the right, let's trim it. Perfect. Now on this layer, we will add the invert effect. See this one, double click. Perfect. Now add a keyframe in blend. Press on U. Let me zoom in. Going ahead, increase the size. Again at this point, reduce it. Perfect. Now in the mode, you have to simply change it and keep it as difference.
Reply to you. 5 minutes.
Okay. You can select all of them. Pressing option. Let's drag them together like this. Perfect. Let me see now.
Reply to you. 5 minutes.
I still feel it's too much. I will do one thing. Press on T. Maybe keep it around 50%. Let me see.
To you. 5 minutes feels like an hour.
Perfect. And finally, to add the continuous motion, let's right click, go to new, add a null object. Let's select all these layers. No, we don't really need to select the background. So all the layers apart from background and this transition layer, and parent them to null. Let's press on S for scale, add a keyframe. Let me zoom out somewhere at this point. Let me see.
5 minutes feels like an hour. And
okay, so till 10 seconds. Let's simply keep this around 110. Perfect. Selecting both the keyframes, press on F9. Go to the graph, drag it like this. Perfect. Let me zoom out. Let's see.
5 minutes feels like an hour. And
Nice. Now at this point, we're going to simply trim all the layers. Select all of them. Trim them on the right. Perfect. Let me see.
to you. 5 minutes feels
Let's trim them on the right. Perfect.
minutes feels like an hour.
Okay, looks good. I feel this is too zoomed out. I will do one thing. At this point, it can be 100. Okay. And at the beginning, let's keep it around 95 or 90. So when it comes up,
To you. 5 minutes feels like an hour.
okay, I think this is very small for you guys to see. I'm zooming in. Let's see again.
Apply to you. 5 minutes feels like an hour.
Nice. Perfect. So in this way, we have completed our second scene as well. So as usual, we select all these layers. Coming over here, let's give it a nice orange color. Perfect. Let me go back over here. Nice. Basically, before this point, we can trim all these layers on the left and even trim this null object. Nice.
Hour feels like rejection. This is notification anxiety. Hour feels like rejection. This is notification anxiety.
Now let's start adding our layers for the third scene. Let me drag the background. Perfect. Let me trim it on the left. Let's add this. Press on S. Scale this up. Keep it over here. Perfect. Press on P for position. Add a keyframe. Let's drag it around 12 seconds or 11.5 seconds. At this point, let's simply keep it on the left. Nice. Now again selecting both the keyframes. Press on F9. Go into the graph. Create a nice graph like this. Let me see.
Feels like an hour. An hour feels like rejection.
Nice. Now here we have to add the word rejection. Simply write the text. Rejection. Selecting all. Let's again use Midland Luxury. This one, maybe in Midland Luxury italics. Perfect. Let's keep it. Let's give it the same color like this. Perfect. Press on P. Keep it over here. Perfect. Now to animate this, I'm going to teach you one different technique. Let's open this up. Firstly, as usual, add position. We'll also add opacity. And finally, we'll add tracking. So here, let's keep it something like this. Perfect. Add the position on the right and keep this as nil. Perfect. Opening this up, add a keyframe and offset. Going ahead at this point, keep this 100%. Let me see how it looks. I think we don't really need the position as well. We can keep this nil. Let Let me see. Yeah, this looks good.
rejection. This,
So let's keep it over here.
an hour feels like rejection.
Okay, this can be faster.
An hour feels like rejection.
Perfect. Selecting both the keyframes, press on F9. Now going to effects. I'm going to search for deep glow. Perfect. Let's keep this around 0.1. Nice.
Now, an hour feels like rejection.
Maybe a little ahead. This can be over here.
Like an hour. An hour feels like rejection.
Perfect. Over here, now we have to add the word feels like. Perfect. I have added this. All I have done is over here in the animator. In position, I have kept it as -70. That way it will come in from the top. Okay.
An hour feels like rejection.
Nice. Let's keep it somewhere over here.
Feels like an hour. An hour feels like rejection.
No, maybe like this.
An hour feels like rejection.
Nice. Now at this point, I also want to add one trim path on the back. So let's select our pen tool. Add a point over here. Keep the fill as none. Keep the stroke as 1. Perfect. Again selecting the same point. Let's keep it something like this. Nice. I'll just name this as the trim path. Perfect. Keep it somewhere over here. Nice. Opening this up. Add a trim path. So at the beginning it will be 0. As you go ahead, at this point it can be 100%. Let me see.
Hour. An hour feels like rejection.
Nice. Perfect. Looks pretty good. Now again selecting all these layers. I'll give it a nice purple color. Even for this, let's keep it purple. Now selecting all, we can trim them on the left. Nice. Let me see.
It's like an hour. An hour feels like rejection.
Perfect. Now over here, let's add the final transition. For that, coming over here, I'll select the ellipse tool. Let's make a nice ellipse like this, holding on shift. Perfect. Let's give it a white color. Perfect. No stroke is required. Press on Command Home to center this. Perfect. Coming over here, let's add a keyframe scale. At 12 seconds, let's keep this as nil. We see. Perfect. Now on top of this, let's add a deep glow effect. Nice. Let's reduce the exposure a bit. Okay, this is fine. Now to play around with the position. So let's press on P, holding shift, add a keyframe. Okay, at this point this is fine. At the beginning, over here, you have to keep it down and on the left, like this. Perfect. Now press on G to select the pen tool and drag this point something like this. Let me see.
Rejection. This is.
So ideally it will come up. So we'll do one thing. At this point, it doesn't really need to be 0. So we'll keep this around 5. See. Perfect. This is better, right?
Rejection. This.
Or instead of 5, we can keep it something like 2%. Perfect. Now selecting all keyframes, just press on F9. Where is the animation ending? Press on U. Okay, over here. So let's drag it earlier at this point. Perfect. Something like this.
Rejection. This.
Let's keep it close.
Rejection. This.
So somewhere at this point, holding shift, press on T. Add a keyframe opacity. Going over here, let's keep this as nil. Perfect. Let me trim all these layers. When it comes at this point, we'll need to trim all these layers. Okay. Selecting all, we'll trim it on the right. Perfect. We'll also trim this over here. Perfect. Let's see.
Rejection. This is no.
Perfect. Let me see.
An hour feels like rejection. This is no.
Beautiful, right? I'll just call this as the final transition. Perfect. This way, we have completed all the 3 scenes successfully. Let's have a quick look from the beginning.
Send them a text and then you wait. You check if they've read it. You check if they're online. You analyze the time gap between their last post and their reply to you. 5 minutes feels like an hour. An hour feels like rejection. This is notification anxiety. You send.
Perfect. Looks brilliant, right? So that's it guys for this tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you want me to create more cinematic podcasts like this in future. Thank you for watching the tutorial. I will catch you very soon next time.